Alrighty, so we're gonna get right into this. Okay, so first thing that I see that we talked about, how much I'm getting into this back leg right here. You can see the angle that I'm creating right here. I'm just not really doing it right here. Maybe I kind of do it right here, but I think that's stemming from trying to overextend and not getting into this leg. As you can see on the pull down, I get into this position for a long time, and then bam, look how fast that back leg snaps. And it snaps at the same time, but it's very slow because I'm trying to overextend and everything. That's the first thing I see. Second thing I see is how short the stride is. As we talked about before, I mean, I'm 8 feet at release, like 8 feet from the mound. Yeah, I think if I shorten up my stride, as seen here, I think everything's going to be better instead of, I think I'm losing velo. I know I'm losing velo from overextending so much. Instead of just being right here, I think one way you can see that I'm overextending is how much this front leg collapses. And given I'm doing better on blocking than I was in the summer, because I've worked on it so much, but I haven't really worked on, shortening my strides. As you can see, like, it's getting better. Like, I'm about to this point where I'm fully blocked, but it should really be on this point where I'm fully blocked instead of there. So that's the first two things I see. Just trying to stay into this back leg a little bit longer, and shortening the stride. And I think if I can shorten the stride to about right, I'd say about right there where my cursor is, instead of, right there, and staying taller, creating larger angles instead of collapsing like this, I think that's going to get more life on the ball. I think I'm going to throw harder. Spin rate obviously is going to go up, just on the amount of force that's on the ball, instead of force being on the ball from when my foot is implementing force into my body from here. You know what I mean? Okay, so those are the first two things I see with my lower half that are really important. I think that are going to be going forward. And we've talked about this. So when we look into the upper half, first thing immediately I see, and I've known this for a while, and I know it's not easy to figure this out, but as you can see, like on my pull down right here, how this arm goes straight up. This arm is, and instead of this arm going like this, where it's almost fully extended, and then it's kind of my front hand is just coming closer to my chest, and there's no life on the bicep and tricep and shoulder on my arm, creating no shoulder abduction at all, which is just, I think it's limiting my arm a lot. So I feel like if I can get this movement down where my cursor is on my elbow, if I can get this movement down where it's going up and back like I'm doing on the pull down, I think that's going to be very crucial to first off creating angles that'll allow me to throw harder, because I think right now doing velo days and this is my evaluation, I think right now doing velo days with this set of mechanics right here on the mound is absolutely pointless, because I'm not going to throw much harder with this set of skills and the way I'm moving right here, because if you just take a look, like a slow-mo look, I'm not moving very efficiently with my upper half at all. You can just see how much torque I'm creating here and how much shoulder hip separation I'm creating here, and I feel like that's due to trying, like, very forcefully trying to put this up, like put this back arm up and create that abduction, like, I guess actual shoulder abductions right here, but as you can see, like, how much this arm is back compared to this one, and I feel like that is what's going to create this front shoulder staying in longer, which allows my front foot to strike and then everything to uncoil, and then that's when so that's my self-evaluation on shoulder hip separation. Let me know what you think about that topic. But just looking at from the pull down to the mound below, this is 95, this is 87, 88. So there's a 7 mile an hour difference, and given it's a pull down, you're moving faster. But I don't think it should be 7 miles an hour difference of what I've seen. And as you can see, there's a clear reason why it's 7 miles an hour difference. Just look at the angles I'm creating and putting myself in on a pull down versus a mound, and that's the reason we can say there's a loss of 3 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour, regardless. Okay, so that's what I have against on like shoulder abduction and everything, obviously, as once I'm right here, I'm pretty much in the same position, and arm is getting into decently efficient layback. I feel on both of these. I feel like I've got that part down. I've worked a lot on that in the summer because I used to be a guy who really didn't understand that, just throw the ball. But I'll touch on the shoulder abduction part one last time, and this is the infamous quarantine bullpen that I threw, where I threw 92 on pitch logic, and disregarding the 92 part. As you can see, this is the only time that I have figured this out, and I have done it, and I feel like a dumbass because I can't replicate it. As you can see right here, what do I do here? Bam, right up in there. This arm right here, this is what I like saw in the pull down. This is what you see in the pull down. This arm, now it's not as much as the pull down given, because that would be really, really hard to put yourself in that position when you're not getting a run up. But as you can see, I mean, this arm just goes straight up and in, and that's when it flips up. This leg starts to fly down, and then this flips up, and then everything comes out. So I think that if I can figure that out, and obviously right here I feel like I'm creating just a little bit, just a tad bit more shoulder hip separation, just a little bit, but I think the added up and back into this position right here is what added whatever. Like it looks so much better here. And it's hard to say like, oh, well, it added 4 miles an hour, because we don't know if it's right. I mean, but that's what I have on that. Just finishing touching up on that. This is the only time that I figured it out. I'm not sure how I did it, because I can't do it now. I guess I'm just not being forceful enough on creating this angle right here in my bullpens anymore. That could be what it is, or it could just be that I have no clue. But I'm gonna try very, very hard to continue to create this angle right here, because I feel like this is what is gonna get me to the. This is what's gonna put me in a position to throw harder if I can shorten up my stride. Now, given all of this is probably not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna happen like in the next 2 months, but I think that this is where these are the things I need to focus on the most while going into the meat of my freshman year and finishing my freshman year. I think if I can figure this out right here and try to replicate this right here with the shoulder abduction, staying into this back leg more and shortening up my stride, I think that's gonna make everything just so much better. Because I mean, like, the amount of, if you just look, the position I'm trying to put myself in to throw hard is not very efficient. Just it's not very good. But then you look right here and it's very, very good. So just to recap, first thing, sitting into this back leg, getting into it. And it's not so much of sitting, it's just creating an angle to drive off of when you flip this down, when your hips just fire. Because as you can see, it's kind of slow here, but on the mound, it's kind of very, very slow. And on this, it's very, very quick. So that's first thing. Second thing is shortening up the stride, because you don't want to release the ball at 8 feet unless you're 6'8" Tyler Glass now. And he's nowhere near extended to this long. He's just got freakishly long arms. That's the second thing, shortening everything up. Third thing was shoulder abduction. As you can see on the side by side, how much not I'm doing, how much nothing I'm getting, and how much I actually am, even at right about here, how this is almost about to exceed the point of my chest, and this is way far back. And that's relatively whenever foot touches the ground, whenever shoulder is starting to, the front shoulder is starting to go left and pull out, and that's when everything starts to happen with the arm. That was the second thing, and we went over what I thought with the infamous quarantine bullpen and how I created that angle there, but I haven't since. And then the last thing was just, I think I touched on it, was just how I put myself in a position to throw hard. And that's why I do throw hard on a pull down. I mean, 95 is not that hard, but we're going to get there. But yeah, just putting myself in a position, and I think if I can do these 3 to 4 things by the end of my freshman year, I think I'm in a good position to throw pretty dang hard. So yeah, thank you, and let me know what you think.